So looking forward to London 2012. The Olympics are in my home country, in England. Somewhere that the Germans are obviously going to perform well. It's not a massive climate change. It's a European country. You had the Olympic champion from 3 years ago, Jan Frodeno. What are Germany's chances in Olympic triathlon in London 2012?
Obviously, we have to say we are looking for a medal again. In the last 4 years, we've won with the male athlete each year a single medal at the highest event. 3 times the World Championship medal and 1 time the Olympic gold medal. So we can only have a look for a medal with the boys. But we're also hoping for a top 10 position from the girls. I think Anja Dittmar, she's our oldest woman at the moment, but she's still in the position to grab a top 10 or even a medal would be a really surprise. But I think a top 10 would be possible for her too. But for the girls, for the men, it's really hard to qualify. Even we have got 6 or 7 guys to qualify for 3 spots, so it will be a hard battle this year already. We've got the qualifying race in London as well, on the 6th and 7th of August. So there we can see where we stand at the moment.
Moving on to Ironman. Obviously you got some very good Ironman as well. Talk me through Hawaii this coming year. Andreas Reilard had a fantastic race last October. Just got beat at the end on the run, the last few kilometers. Fantastic race. Andreas was out here last year training with us. Hopefully he'll be out here again training with us this year. Tell me about Andreas's chances in October in Hawaii.
I think his chances they were good last year. They were really good the year before. He was third the year before in his first Ironman race on Hawaii ever. So normally you have to have a little bit of adaptation. You have to learn there. But he straight went on the podium this year. He nearly finished first. So nearly won. I think next year he can only be one of the favorites. I think he's benefiting a lot from the system, from the short distance system. 2 years ago, he was still on the short course racing with us guys. He was one of my training mates years before, and is still a good friend. Crossing my fingers for him in Hawaii, and I think he's one of the greatest talents in triathlon because he's that straight to himself, that hard. There's no one else, and he's really talented for this. And I'm really crossing my fingers for him.
Just going back to the development side of triathlon, you've got what's your tip for a youngster that's coming into triathlon? Normally what we see with triathletes is they'll come from another sport. They'll come from swimming, or they'll come from cycling, or they'll come from running. If you're a triathlete taking up and you just want to take up triathlon, what would your tips be to that person? How do they go about adapting to the 3 sports?
First of all, there are no straight rules. If you come from swimming, you don't have to be a really successful guy. If you come from running, you don't have to be a successful guy. Me, myself, I come from football or volleyball. Okay, it's years ago, but it's not bad if you're talented at swimming, for sure. You have to start it early. But my biggest tip is not to be too ambitious. Take your time and first of all enjoy the sport, enjoy the way of life, and then afterwards you will have fun in the training. Don't do it with too much pressure. You have to have fun in the sport and to live the sport. The other things will come from enjoy.
What kind of work to me, triathlon seems a very tough sport. I struggle to run 10 kilometers. I wouldn't want to do the bike before it or the swim before it. Psychologically, what kind of work did the Federation do psychologically to prepare yourself for an Olympic triathlon? Is somewhat short compared to an Ironman, obviously. How do you teach the kids to cope psychologically with competing for such a long time?
They grow up with not that long distances, shorter distances. For the first years they do 300 meters of swimming, 10 Ks of cycling and 2.5 Ks of running, and it's going up double distance with 2 years later. And then there's a big step between the sprint distance, 750 meters swimming, 20 Ks biking, and 5 Ks running, and the Olympic distance, which is double. There's a, as you said, a little bit psychological problem, but there's also a problem physically.
Physically, yeah.
There's another system in the body you have to adapt. There's more endurance importance. Yeah, there's more importance of endurance. And there you have to, stay calm there as well. You have to wait for the body until it's reacting and it's building its endurance. That's what we say to them. You have to stay calm. You have to have patience with yourself. We are starting to work with psychologists, but I think first of all it has to come from their own. They have to realize how it works, how endurance sport is working. It's always hard work, and you have to have patience. That's the thing.
Okay, that's 9 questions. Last question, Matthias. Tell me a little bit about the best center. Why you guys come out here?
Pretty simple. There are a lot.
It's a sunny day. This is February, by the way. Anybody watching this is February. The sun's out. It's beautiful.
It's always like this. No, last year we've been here in March. It was really bad weather for Mallorca. It was 4 degrees.
Yeah.
And that was the hardest proof for us, for example.
Yeah.
And we've seen that you guys were working really, really hard and giving us all the systems we would need for this, and we could train even in these hard conditions. And so it was no question to us not to come back. And I think it answers the question quite easily. You're working so hard and you're doing everything for us to develop our performance here. And I think the environment, especially the pool, it's unique on the island for sure. And also the running here around, it's nice wood there we can run in. Not the path for the legs and for preventing injuries. And also the cycling here, it's not the mountains like in the north, but you've got some mountains, the Randa or for example San Salvador, or some hilly areas in the northeast. So you can do everything here, and also the hotels are good. And I think the most important thing, we feel really welcome here by you guys, and that's why we really like to come in the future here, and we would build up really good relationships with you guys.
Thank you very much. That was MatthiasZöll speaking in his second language. Would you believe it? His English is so good. Thank you very much, Matthias.
Thank you very much.
Bye.